Iowa recently had their fair, and they
Okay.
had an interesting contest called the Husband Calling Contest. I got this video via Twitter.
Oh boy.
Credit whoever took it. This is more for conversational purposes, but I think it's going to mute you guys. It's a 48-second video. Let's just play it and want to hear what you guys have to say.
Come here right now. We're going to be late for the fair. Come here right now, Gary. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Come on, Gary. Let's get in the car. Thomas! Richard! Harold!
Come on, sweetheart. You can do it. Here's my little kiss for you.
Here, Dougie!
County fairs are always cheesy, okay? I'll give you that. There's no argument about that. This is so weird in a multitude of levels. So this is the husband calling contest. So the whole idea is, hey, wives, you need to call your husband. How do you do it? And as you see it in the examples of the video, some wives are like, I'm going to be really, really annoying and yell, Henry or whatever. And then the creepy old lady halfway through was giving like little kissy sounds, like, come on, honey, and stuff like that.
It did sound like she was calling some type of pet, either a small dog or a cat.
Why is this a good thing? I mean, every fair, there's crazy contests. I know it's part of the fair. You have to have a dumb contest and everything else. But this is 2024. We've got to understand where people are coming from. We're giving prizes to women for yelling at their husbands, very much, right? Or am I missing something here? Yeah.
You are not missing a thing. That is exactly what is happening.
Okay, so obviously we got to be mindful of our creeds, religion, genders, all this other stuff. And I'm totally for that. We've got to respect everybody. So we're saying all of that.
No, we do not. You are incorrect. That is not accurate.
Well, we're saying
there are still some people it is perfectly fine to disrespect. So,
it's evidenced by our friends in Iowa who are yelling at their husbands. I mean, this is rough. And I saw,
and you can look at that, and you can look at that and be like, "Oh, that's quaint," or "Oh, that's funny," "That's silly," whatever else. Please swap the genders and see how people respond.
Oh yeah, can you imagine the wife calling contest?
People will absolutely lose their minds if you swapped the genders on this concept here.
And I'm seeing in the crowd, like you saw in the crowd, there were men in the crowd, which is fine. I'm sure men are supporting their wives. Okay, great. Support your wife. That's fine. But man, how do you report that? Oh, my wife won the husband calling contest. I mean, that's almost offensive to say to you personally, but probably to your wife as well. I know it's a dumb contest. I know it's not the end of the world. I totally get that. But I'm really creeped out after watching the whole thing. I'm just, how is this a good thing for men?
Isn't the point of calling your husband for your husband to respond and come to you, not like run and hide?
Yeah, like when I first saw that story, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, is her
I
husband
wouldn't go to any of those people.
Yeah.
It's not a one of those people that I'd be like, yeah? I'd be like, bye-bye.
Yeah, I'm just...
Nope.
And I've got the story here that goes with it. I just want to see what was said, like who won.
This is a lady who pulled out a shotgun.
Yeah. Okay, now here's the other thing. Okay, the marketing director, her name is Mindy Williamson. She says, okay, we do other contests too. We have a husband calling contest. We have a mom calling contest. So what, a bunch of kids are going to scream for the mom?
Yes.
Yeah. How
mom,
is that
mom,
good?
mom, 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 mom.
Oh, yeah. Oh. our daughter wakes my wife and I up yelling, "Mom, mom, mom." That's not fun. That's not a fun contest. I mean,
What do they win? What do they win?
let me see. I don't know. We have hog calling and more competitive family friendly events.
You
What's
know, all the
here?
kinds
Yeah.
of hogs, actual hogs, husbands.
Oh no. Okay, hey, Joe, this is rough. According to
There we
a story
go.
from the Des Moines Register,
Buckle up.
um, okay, there was a video that they shared from the 2017. My understanding is the video I showed you was this year's contest. But
Okay.
according to the story, the top five finalist efforts are winning the grand prize of $5. $5.
$5 and all it cost you was a little bit of dignity.
Yeah. And I get it's a state fair. I know this isn't life changing money. I know you're not going to win a new car or everything, but you got to go up and start screaming at your husband for $5.
Yes.
And say,
And most of them would be like, I get 5 whole bucks? Shoot.
yeah,
I'd
I
do
mean,
that for free.
what? And say you win. Maybe the
Down
wife is
payment on a
jealous.
pizza.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, you
Down
can't buy
payment on an Australian pizza.
yeah, you can buy a full Australian pizza. My hope would be is maybe you win $50 and you could just say, "All right, husband, I know I embarrassed you. I'll buy you something nice on the way home, something like that. You could buy that big game you want to buy, or I'll buy you a nice meal, or we'll buy you a TV or something. $5?
$50.
And that's like, yeah.
I'll buy you a
$50
very
we'll buy
nice
a TV.
TV.
Well, not TV. Or say it was like a $500 prize or whatever.
Okay.
Hey, he can get he can get a McDouble and a large Coke, and
Yeah. Oh, that's what I would get. All
Yep.
participants received a ribbon.
I would just get a $500 bin of Big Mac sauce.
When's the last time? Yeah, we almost talked about that. Remind me, next week, chicken Big Macs are coming to McDonald's. So we need to talk about that.
I'm sorry, what? What?
Chicken Big Macs. That's all stories.
What are you talking about? You're just saying words. What?
It's they just throw chicken patties instead of the meat on it, and you got a chicken Big Mac.
Instead of, it's just that's a chicken sandwich. What do you?
I saw someone. What Google?
is it going to be the McChicken patty? Because that is an abomination.
I just saw it scroll by, and I was like, "Man, we need to talk about it," but I forgot until you mentioned it. So,
Oh man.
We don't have to be on the TikTok story for it. I'm not the TikTok, but the husband calling. But when's the last time you received a ribbon for anything?
Oof.
They
Well, I will say I can't say I've gotten a ribbon, but for teachers, we often are asked to do online learning things, which are like going over the rules of FERPA, you know, the privacy laws for people's personal identification information, you know, that kind of thing. So watch this 7-minute video and then take the quiz. And then when I finish the quiz, I get a certificate and I can print it out. And I never have. I have to forward it on to my administrators to prove that I did this thing. And I never once didn't watch the video and just answered the questions, which are fairly obvious, and still got the score that I needed in order to not have to watch the video. Like, that's 7 minutes of my life.
Yeah,
I choose to spend it in other ways, possibly in a hog calling contest.
Well, if you're listening to the show and you're like, I give out ribbons to people, that's fine. If that's the way you live your life, that's great. But don't make that into
I'm that ribbon guy. Hey, kids, come over here to my unmarked white van. I'd like to give you a ribbon.
I mean, if you're
Make it sound like it's a lifestyle, the ribbon lifestyle.
Right.
Hey, man, I'm living the ribbon. That's what I'm doing. I'm just living the ribbon.
Yeah, but for announcing this as a great prize, I mean, come on. No, I don't think anybody's doing that.
I
And here's
want
the
a
other,
ribbon that says "Living for Ribbon." That is what I want. I want a ribbon that says that.
and here's the other thing. I kind of feel bad as I'm saying this because I'm like, maybe every state has husband calling contests. I'm Googling it in Ohio. All that comes up is the Iowa State Fair.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it in Mississippi,
I mean,
because
that's where the real one is. I mean, come on.
right, but you would think that if you type in husband calling contest Ohio, if there's ones, maybe it'll pop up, at the
Maybe
But
what it
because
reminds, what
there's
it does.
things to do in Ohio.
right.
Okay, you understand that the state of Ohio is a joke to the majority of very young, like middle school aged kids.
But
But we're not Iowa.
You
They
That's
make
true.
fun of Ohio
In this
because they've
case,
never heard of Iowa.
actually this generation's Florida man is Ohio. So many random things happen in Ohio right
right.
now for that generation nationwide. Ohio is what we used to think of as Florida man.
But how is this helping Iowa's reputation to have this husband calling contest out there?
Dude,
What's the
Iowa doesn't have
reputation without it?
the only thing Iowa has is the Iowa caucuses, which no one understands.
Well, they have Caitlin Clark. They had a couple good years of Caitlin Clark playing for Iowa, and she's always going to have played for Iowa, but she's out of state now too.
Yeah.
So we're replacing Caitlin
Their
Clark with
main
the
their main export is Caitlin Clark.
right, and she doesn't play there anymore. So she's just like a native, or she used to play there. I mean,
I don't. Is she even
this is
from
trouble.
there? I don't even think she's from Iowa. I think that's just where she
Right.
went to college.
So
Wasn't
I
Seth
was
Rollins from Iowa?
Yes,
okay,
from Des
Well, there
Moines,
you go. At one
but
point, he was from.
Davenport. He's from Davenport,
right,
Iowa.
but Seth Rollins is like Caitlin Clark. I was there, now I'm not there anymore. I mean, Iowa. This is not good for Iowa. If I was the Iowa PR guy, I would be like, oh, enough of this. Let's cancel this Iowa husband calling contest.
What
And
you? Of, you got to do something that people know you are still a state.
but can't we pick something else?
I mean,
Like,
isn't Iowa one of the ones that whenever you see the map that people from UK tried to fill in, and it's Iowa is one of the states that's always a question mark. Like I don't know what happens. What is that? I have no idea. It
well,
kind of looks
What do
like a
they?
hamburger, a little bit like a silhouette of a hamburger, just a little
well,
bit.
I mean, what do they have? 2 electoral votes. I mean,
what can we
Mm,
promote from Iowa?
and they have caucused both of those votes, baby. I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
I mean, right now, Iowa
but they
has
caucus the heck out of it.
Man,
Seth Rollins once lived here, and Caitlin Clark used to hit baskets when she lived here.
yeah.
That's like so. How can we promote Iowa?
So there's 2 entire states where their claim to fame is Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like that's
Yeah,
what
Indiana,
Indiana's
right?
got going on, right?
Yeah, nothing else. Indiana.
Hey, remember Peyton Manning? Remember when he played?
Yeah.
I mean, not the time that he played for Denver, but the time that he played for us. You remember that?
Yeah. Notre Dame. That's nothing. Well, but or could we have a corn eating contest, like a corn growing contest, or a? We have
How
to have
long
some.
do you think this state fair is?
Oh, maybe 2 weeks, right?
Everybody's standing at the starting line holding a
Oh,
seed, and they're all like,
okay.
"And go!" Dig, 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 dig. Flip, 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 flip.
Or not
Water.
growing, an eating contest or something, or I don't know, a Iowa Hawkeye trivia contest where you answer questions about the Iowa Hawkeyes. This is bad for Iowa, and we're lucky because we don't have to live there. I mean, we're in
Are you
Ohio.
thinking that it's bad enough for Iowa that they may have to shut it down?
I mean, if I'm in Iowa and I'm listening to this, I'm like, oh, this is what they have to talk about. I'd be in tears if I was.
You're the entire state of Iowa listening to our podcast.
Well, if somebody comes across it, because I know I'm going to put Iowa in the
Do you think there's
headlines.
at least a representative from each state that's watching? right now.
Well, I mean, but people will hear it. Like we once did a
Dear
podcast.
Puerto Rico, I have some things I need to talk to you about.
There's one guy in Iowa, 80 miles from nowhere, who has a Google alert for anytime somebody mentions Iowa. He's on it.
No, seriously, Craig and I, we did a podcast where we made fun of YouTube people, and there was this guy who used to be in the mob, and he would have a YouTube show where he would look at YouTube movies about mobsters and say, "This is real" or "This isn't." So we were making fun of him. My
You were
co-host,
making fun of a former mobster.
my co-host,
Tonight, my connection's really starting to go bad. Where's the button on the? Where's
You
the?
never know.
I can't find it. I can't get off.
You know, you never know. But all right, so frustrated with Iowa. Are you frustrated or sad? How do you feel about Iowa after this? Are you ready to move?
Most
my
days I
opinion of
forget Iowa exists.
My opinion of Iowa has not changed.
See,
It
I
has
don't
been
just.
unaffected by this news. It is confirmation that Iowa's going to Iowa, baby.
I don't disagree with what you guys just said, but Iowa may not like what you're saying here. This could be kind of offensive.
Listen, I'm going to say it's not a state fair, but the whole concept of the husband calling thing reminds me that there is a Tennessee Williams Festival that's here in Mississippi, and they do contests for high school students, whatever. You could do monologues, you could do scenes, whatever, and they give you a lot of awards. And one of the contests that they have is, in The Streetcar Named Desire, there's the scene where Stanley has to call for his wife after he's hit her. He's been drunk and he hits her, and she goes upstairs to her friend's place. And, Marlon Brando in the movie comes out at the bottom of the stairs and he's yelling for Stella, right?
Right.
Yep.
So there is a Stella calling contest that conceptually it sounds exactly like the husband calling contest, but it is Stella. So you can just there do the classic like Stella, like full throated yell, or you can do other things to try to woo Stella back down. You can like offer her flowers. You could like
at least it's based on a nice movie line. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's actually
not,
from a Tennessee Williams play. So like it's kind of funny that you're doing that, but it's not a state fair. That's just something that is a Tennessee Williams themed festival. Tennessee Williams Delta Festival.
Here's the other thing.
This contest feels very on brand for Iowa. So that's
See, people may not like that. So
Iowa's got a brand.
Iowa send you letters.
It's mostly corn, but it's got a brand.